Puddles in the morning, puddles in the evening, puddles in the afternoon. Well, I'm a puddle boy and she's a puddle girl. The Puddles podcast is starting real soon.
All right, welcome to Puddles. It's your host, Andrew Collin, joined by hilarious comedian Micheal Rowland.
What's up?
Dude, I'm so happy you're on the show.
I'm so happy to be on the show.
I really am. Like, I just had Derek Stroop on, again, like a fan from afar. Mm-hmm. And we've only met.
Recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, really met and actually talked in the last, 3 weeks.
You ever watch a comedian and you're like, I'd be friends with him. And then you get a little mad because they're like, I would do that same material. And
yeah.
He does the joke better than me.
Yeah. All the time, man. And Derek's one of those guys, too. I'm like, fuck, this guy's good.
Yeah.
This guy's good, and he's funny. And he's real Southern.
Real Southern. We were just talking about how we're from the South, but no one gives us credit for being Southern. If they saw you in, a big F-250, no one would believe it. Be like, that'd be crazy.
Like, this isn't you. I grew up in the suburbs of Atlanta. I mean, it's Southern. My family's Southern, but it's just, you meet Derek, and you're like, oh, yeah, this is Alabama. This is Huntsville, Alabama. This is... it's what people think when they think Southern.
Did you go through a phase of throwing a lipper in and trying to?
I think when I went to college, because I went to college in LA, I did a couple things. I leaned into the Atlanta thing, which you could say kind of acting black in a way, but also leaning into the Southern thing simultaneously, because I did start dipping. Like, my dad chewed tobacco, my cousins dipped. So I started dipping when I was 16, and I was like, this is me.
Your dad dipped?
My dad chewed. He'd get pouches of Red Man chewing tobacco, and we'd go out in the garage and watch the rain.
No music, just silence in the rain.
Just silence in the rain. That's right.
That's the kind of guy, I couldn't. I mean, you get an argument with that. He throws a lipper in, and as a kid, you can't argue with that.
No. We started trying to, you get to a certain age, and you're like, tobacco's bad for you. And we used to, take his pouches and, throw them on the roof or bury him in a hole in the backyard. And be like, fucking stop this shit. Gotta go buy a fucking another motherfucking pouch. God damn it.
We would steal my grandpa's cigars.
Really?
Yeah, we would flush them down the toilet, and he was like an 80-year-old man. He doesn't need this.
No, dude.
He's reading the newspaper. It's like his only pleasures outside on the yard in an old chair, smoking a stogie,
smoking a big old stogie. It's not as bad as cigarettes. It's not as bad as other shit.
Anyways,
yeah. You flushing those cigars didn't help shit. Just robbed a little.
Stressed out.
Just robbed them a little bit of joy.
I know. I sometimes think about that. Grandpa Marvin. He did the last 5 years was just us stealing his thunder. He was a great guy, though, man.
Yeah.
But it's funny. You hear about your grandpa, and it's like, oh, when he was younger, though, he was a real animal.
Yeah.
I know he's nice now, and he gives you back rubs, but he sure would beat the shit out of us.
Yeah. He's beating the fuck out of us all the time. But yeah, okay. I guess he's a sweetheart now. Yeah. Sometimes I don't believe it. Sometimes I'm like,
what's that? You don't believe
No,
that?
not with your grandfather, but I feel like I just know a lot of guys now that are losers that think they're cool. And one day they're going to be a grandfather and they're going to tell that to their grandkids. Like, back when I was a kid, I was a real animal. And they're going to believe him because they love him because he's their grandfather. And I wish another grandfather could pull up and be like, I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah, no, he was always a pussy.
I knew you back in the day, Dennis. You were a fucking coward. But it sounds like you were getting it straight from your dad or your mom, who were like, no, he beat us regularly.
Yeah, no, we did. We got it from the source. And, I remember when we were younger, we got the tail end, the very end of it. And he would say, you want Mr. Five? That's what he would say to us. He goes, you want Mr. Five? And we're like, and he had a big old hand. My grandpa Mario was 6'4". I think that's where all our Jewish height went. It didn't come down to me.
It went all to Marvin.
It went all to Marvin.
His fucking hand.
Yeah, dude. He loved fishing. He'd go down.
Oh, yeah?
He'd go down to Panama back in the day. And he would go marlin fishing. I think he just wanted to get away from Grandma Thelma.
Sure.
She was a lot.
Yeah?
Always complaining about her bladder. That was her thing.
Classic Jewish grandmother trope.
And my grandpa would go down there. I remember he said he was a bald man, but he would take one hair and he'd curl it around, you know?
What?
Yeah. And he'd throw it around like a hurricane around his
Oh my
head.
God.
And he said, when he was in Panama, he was like, I smoked weed at the El Gato Negro. I got so high I could feel my hair grow.
Yeah, that's a hard line.
It's a great line.
That sounds like an Action Bronson line.
I tried it the other night on stage. I was like, dude, Grandpa Marvin. I guess he had to come from him.
Fucking spitting.
I love it.
I think you should try it again. I love that.
I know. I tried it. You know when a bit bombs and it's just like, maybe I just wasn't confident with it.
Sure.
Know? Most bits that I do well are in the first person. When I'm talking about a family, someone else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's when you feel like you're starting to lose it a little bit.
Yeah.
I get that. I've never thought about it on those terms. I don't know if that's true for me or not, but I can definitely see that.
I mean, I love your stand-up, dude. You're so fucking funny.
Thanks, man.
Crazy. It's crazy how funny you are.
What the fuck?
No, it really is. And I know it's cheesy when comedians are like, kiss someone, a comedian's ass, you know?
No, I think it's shit.
Yeah. No, it really
appreciate
is. It's
it.
awesome. Freaking, it's funny. We have a connection. When I graduated college, I moved to LA. Like right after college, I drove cross country to be a producer, and I thought I was getting a big job as a big production assistant. I didn't know what it was.
Right.
I wore a suit to the first day. They're like, "You're moving fucking boxes."
It's a PA job, buddy.
It's one weekend. I drove cross. I didn't look into it, and it was
That's hilarious.
It was an IHOP commercial. Lead actor Joel Mchale.
Get the fuck out.
I swear.
Yo.
And I talked to him about it like 20 years later on Nikki Glaser's on You Up. And we talked to him, and obviously he remembered me. You know? But no, it was a funny moment. It was, so we both worked with him.
Had he done anything yet? Like, had he been on the Soup or anything, or was this just straight commercial work before he had anything?
That's a good question. I think it was post Soup.
That would make sense.
How much did you love Talk Soup as a kid?
I liked it some. I didn't watch it a ton. Like, honestly, no. No, but
How old are you?
I loved Community.
Do you say your age?
Yeah, 34.
Oh, okay.
I think people think I'm a lot younger, but I'm 34.
You look younger, but I felt like I thought you were older.
Yeah.
Not much older than that.
But 34 now, which feels strange. I definitely don't feel 34.
Yeah.
Because I've always looked younger. I feel like, maybe it's weird to say, I feel like a 27-year-old man. Like,
I get it.
Genuinely.
Well, yeah. No, it isn't. Do you grow facial hair?
No, I can't grow a beard. I was always like the shortest kid in my class. In high school, there was a senior superlative still mistaken for a freshman, which, have you ever even heard of that senior superlative?
No.
When was that ever a thing? But they made it in my high school for me and one other girl who was 4'11".
They were just calling you like midgets, essentially. Like they were like trying to find a way.
Like, these are the shortest kids that aren't technically midgets in the school.
Yeah.
And
I was very small.
Yeah?
I was the second smallest in my grade.
Oh, second smallest.
What were you at when you were 16? You got your license. What did it say on there?
5'3".
Damn.
5'3".
I think I got to 5'6" at that time.
Oh, that's nice. I think I lie in a bit and say I was 4'11" till I was 16, but I was 4'11" till probably like 15, something like that.
4'11" till 15.
Maybe 14. Like,
No,
now I
but
feel
that
like
is-
I feel like I've expanded the legend in my own mind. But going into high school, I was like 4'11".
That's crazy.
People would come up and go. One kid who's still my friend, Evan, was like, "Are you a super genius?" And I was like, "No, like I'm dumb. I just."
Oh, he thought you were a prodigy.
Yeah,
who was-
everybody thought I like skipped a bunch of grades, and I had to be like, "No, I'm just like really small." I just look super young. I would drive. I got my learner's permit and then I got my license, and like I would drive by and people would like look at me in the car and be like, "What the?"
Yeah, there was that kid in the crowd last
Can't
night
do
who
that.
looked. He was. Oh no, you didn't do the Upper West Side show.
No.
I don't know why I brought that up. It's so particular to. But he was 22 and he looked 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
It blew my mind.
Some kids are like that.
That's so funny though. People thought you were a prodigy, but then you just get a C- in fucking
Yeah, and then I
college
just
algebra.
I'm just failing all my classes. And the thing that trips me out is I wonder if I acted different because I was always perceived as younger. Like, I know people that I think mature faster and are more comfortable being like a man younger because they look like they were a man from such a young age that people treated them in that way. And I wonder if on subconscious level I was treated younger than I was, and therefore I act childishly and very sickly think of myself as a 27-year-old man.
Because you see yourself as this little 4'11" boy. You know?
I think on some deep psychological level. I'm trying to
and
get over that.
And you can't grow a beard, so like that would like
Dude.
I became a man just hairy wise and balding wise. I had no choice but to feel like I was older than I was.
Right. Because you had all this hair.
Yeah, because I had
all
so
this
much
hair came in, all this adult hair.
Adult hair.
And like my balls didn't drop till I was like 16 or 17 or something absurd.
They were afraid up there.
They were afraid up there. They were scared. My voice was all high.
Where were your balls?
They were hiding. You know what? I didn't know what caused this, but I went and I did a show in Indiana. I believe it was Fort Wayne, Indiana. Shout out to the Let's Comedy Boys in Fort Wayne. First guys to really headline me. And I talked about that thing, and there was a lady I was flirting with after the show, and she's like, so, you know, my son has that issue. He won't grow. His growth has been stunted. And she goes, by any chance, did you take the drug Advair growing up? And I was like, I did take the drug Advair. It's an asthma steroid.
Okay.
And she's like, there's studies now that show it stunts your growth. And now I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, you could have had the longest balls.
Dude, I could have had long balls, huge cock, been 6 feet tall. Yeah. My grandfather was 6'2" also. Somebody has to get those genes. They're swimming around somewhere, but I didn't get them.
So you had like a little inhaler and you were 4
I had a little inhaler. I had a steroid inhaler disc I had to do every morning. I had nut allergies.
Did you have little glasses?
No, my eyes were good. My brother, poor bastard, had big, thick serial killer glasses and red hair. Brother? My height. We're like the same height, same build. We're a couple inches. We're an inch or two taller than my dad, but we're like the same height as my mom.
Your dad's a little man.
Yeah, he's a little man.
Yeah.
He's not a big man.
No, my dad's 6 feet. He's a big man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you don't present as a short man. How tall are you? 5'9"? 5'10"?
5'9" and like a half at some point, you know.
You don't present as a short man.
Yeah, I think, but I was very small. Did you have little man's disease, you think?
What is little man's disease?
You never heard of this?
What, you mean like Andy Milonakis? Oh, the little man complex? Napoleon complex? No, my dad definitely does, though.
That's hence the red man chew.
Dude, yeah, my dad is trying to be so tough all the time.
There's nothing funnier than a southern 5'4" guy getting in a big truck acting like a man, but he can't. 5'5", 5'6", 5'5.5". Don't bust rank on my dad. He's not Seth Green. Oh, shit.
He's more of an Elijah Wood, but like burly.
So were you able to play sports in high school?
No, I didn't play sports. I was a theater kid.
Wow.
I was a theater kid.
You don't come across as a theater kid.
I know, because I spent like my 20s trying to be like, I will be tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Trying to prove you're a man. So then, you know, you get into like doing jiu-jitsu and then boxing, and you're just trying to, because I didn't play any sports. So when I got to college, I started doing the jiu-jitsu a little bit. And then on the way out, I started doing the boxing because it was just, I felt like I had to do something. I had to be physically engaged in some way. I didn't want to be.
Yeah, no,
you know,
I think, it's got to be tough to not play one sport in high school. I mean, that's
not one. It's such a big form of camaraderie and friendship.
Connection.
I joined the baseball team in 8th grade, and it was like a joke.
Oh, you were like Lucas from that movie. Remember that movie, Lucas?
Oh, I never watched it all.
Just because it was too personal.
Was it Lloyd?
I think his name was Lucas.
I forget, dude. But I think I know who you're talking about.
He was like a little dude with glasses.
He was a little guy.
With Charlie Sheen.
And then there's like the other kids are mean to him, and then he gets like laid out on the football team.
He catches the ball, but then gets fucking crushed.
Dude, yeah. I think I did sports up to like 4th grade, and then my dad was like, you don't have to do this anymore. And I was like, thank you. But I don't think I wasn't incredibly small then. I was smaller, but I just didn't seem to have any interest in it either.
Well, why did you go into theater? You just because
that's what I was good at. Like my mom's really sweet. My mom was like, well, let's try this, and she sent me to a theater camp. She sent me to Georgia Tech's drama camp in Atlanta, and I remember it was like 2nd grade, and there was a final performance, 2nd grade or 1st grade summer, and there was this final performance at the end, and I was like a presenter in some little skit, and I remember my parents came up after me like, oh my God, you could be good. You're good at something. And my mom encouraged me to do all that.
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
I've never had a story like that. My dad was working. He was a doctor, which granted he made money for the family. But I never had that moment.
No.
Like, I see something in you. Boy.
I do. I think a lot of comedians don't. I feel I missed out on something. I missed out on the thing where it's like, I'm going to do it. Fuck you. I never did that. The whole time, even though my dad was a tough guy, he was like, you're good at this. We like it.
I think out of spite can go a long way, but I do think at the other end of spite is just whatever you get, and then you fill that void, then you're like doing something that you didn't really love anyways. You're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So if you're doing, if you were doing theater because someone believed in you and you loved it, you're probably,
And then I got that feedback from being it. Like I went to a Catholic school, kindergarten, 8th grade. I was part of like this Catholic.
Yeah.
Like the church was in our neighborhood. Like I walked to school. A lot of people in the neighborhood were part of the church. And then everybody in Atlanta, if they're in the Catholic school system, goes to one of 3 high schools. They go to Blessed Trinity, St. Pius, or they go to Marist. And I didn't get into like any of. I got like waitlisted to high school because I was also not a great student.
But what was your IQ? Did you do an IQ test? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I mean, my brother's IQ is substantially higher than me.
Same.
My parents both are high IQ individuals, and then I think I looked at my study. My parents showed me, and it was like something. It was like above average, like 112, just right there.
I think my mom
lightly
lied
above
to me.
average.
I think to get in the gifted program, I need a 130. She told me I had a 128, which is a number
That's incredible.
But there's no way.
That's such a good IQ.
Bro, there is no way I have a 128. I'd be lucky to break 80, I think.
No way.
Okay, I'm smart in some ways.
100 is the average.
So, I'm probably about 111. I'm probably where you are, to be honest.
Yeah, we're a couple of 112s hanging out.
But I guess we're very intelligent in
other ways. I used to be really into stuff like that, and less so as I've gotten older. It's just it feels less important. There's so many other factors at play.
For sure. I mean, there's only like 3 or 4 things that really make you successful. Everything else is fluff. Is just to impress people. Like knowing facts. Like
my dad knows facts, and he's retarded. He has no emotional intelligence at all, dude. But he's really good with sick people.
Why, is he a doctor?
No, he's really good at like, if a friend's in the hospital, he'll pull up and just like, me and my mom were talking about this because I'll get mad at my dad sometime. My mom's very sweet and she's like, but like he's got great qualities. And I'm like, that's true. She's like, if somebody's sick, he's pulling up to the hospital. He's not making it weird. It's not like he doesn't know what to say because he'll just pull up and be like, hit a squirrel on the way, and like he'll just talk about whatever the fuck. And I think
the last thing they want to talk about is their disease.
Yeah, So he's good in that way. I think he took care of a lot of people growing up. So he's
You sure he doesn't just want to get in their will at the end, trying to squeeze in there? You never
trying
thought
to squeeze
of it
out
that way?
Never thought of him as a get in the will guy. To his credit,
it's not a bad idea.
No,
hang around a nursing home.
And to John, I leave everything. He was the last one that was nice and didn't talk about this fucking disease.
Dude, I mean, that is. My dad was a cancer doctor.
Oh, really?
I guess he still
What's
is.
the technical term for that?
Pussy boy.
Pussy boy?
Doctor.
No, it's not an oncologist. He's an oncologist. Okay.
So he was a hematologist oncologist.
Is that blood cancer?
Blood
is
cancer.
Hematologist?
Yeah. And
look at us, 112.
Just 224. You add it up. You add that up. So you said your brother is smart, and do you have a little rivalry with him, or no?
No, he's my older brother. He works in Asheville, North Carolina. He's a bartender and a musician.
Bartender and musician.
My little sister is a special ed teacher in Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, so both are like somewhat creative and No, my older brother's finance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you have a rivalry with him? Is that why you brought it up?
It's not even close. Yeah, he's crushing me.
And
now he's doing jiu-jitsu. I was always
older
the
brother,
athletic,
younger brother. Older. Well, that's fine.
He's bald though.
Yeah. Fuck him.
I mean, I'm receding, but he's
already bald.
I don't know. I think bald. I think a guy goes bald. It goes either way. Like you end up depressed and sad and fat and want to kill yourself,
dude.
Or you become Jeff Bezos,
dude. If you can grow a beard, what's the problem? I'm always just like, I can't go bald because I can't grow a beard, so I'm just going to be a hairless Jeff Bezos looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
And the move is go bald, have a sick beard, and you're styling. You're great.
So you can't grow it. You grow a mustache. You got a little something.
I mean, a little something. I wouldn't even try. It looks so.
When's the last
stupid.
time you tried though? Maybe there's
I
something
don't
there.
try
It's like that
anymore.
Seinfeld episode where the guy like,
Is that an episode?
well, he had great hair, and then she would shave his head, and then Elaine was like, "Come on, grow it out." She saw a license, and he grew it out. He was bald. He was bald. So maybe it's the opposite for you. Maybe you have a great beard under there.
I doubt it heavily.
Let's try.
It feels like Joe Dirt, where he's like, it only grows in here and here.
That's pretty cool though. That's a Johnny Depp.
It's all grows in the Johnny Depp zone.
Yeah, then it looks like it's kind of painted on.
Yeah, and then it's nothing after that.
Well, you got a date tonight though.
I do got a date.
Oh, sorry, this is my wife.
Hello.
Yeah, you got a date. I mean, do you go on a lot of first dates these days, or what?
I'm going on a few. You know,
Yeah.
I'm around,
Throwing it around?
less and less. I don't know. I'm also just trying to be good at stand up, and I like doing that, and trying to have more quiet nights. But then also, yeah, I'll go on first dates. I like a first date. Usually it goes pretty good.
Well, it's nice the hard work that you do in stand up with your, being on I mean, I don't know, being on TV, it's got to be a little weird now. You went from, moving, being a mover.
Yep.
4'11", with an inhaler and balls into your nipples. But now,
and nipples that went in. Yeah, I really did. Man, I guess that little version of me would be pretty stoked.
Yeah.
He'd be like,
your balls
awesome.
all the way down there. By
Balls
your
are all the way
knees.
down. People are, my nipples come out, I'm.
It makes you such a better person. I guarantee, like, either that or you become, again, just a psychopath, like someone like Stephen Miller or something, and you're just mad at the world.
Which guy's Stephen
He's
Miller
a little
again?
bald guy that's behind Trump now, but we don't have to get into
Okay.
politics. But he's a fucking dweeb.
Fuck him.
They call him Pee Wee German. Pretty good.
That is
not
good.
bad. The internet is.
Did you watch the
undefeated.
Pee Wee Herman documentary?
I watched some of it, and I was big into Pee Wee. I love Pee Wee's movie.
Yeah.
What was the fat guy's name in Pee Wee? In the pool?
Clancy? The guy who's like, the guy who takes his bike?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, yeah. It was something like that.
Yeah. Oh, man. That was a great...
That was a great movie, directed by Tim Burton.
He was great in Blow, too.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome. If you watch the documentary, you see that he was a very interesting guy, definitely hard to work with in ways. Yeah. He went to Cal Arts, man. He was a real artsy dude. I had friends that went to Cal Arts. I would visit that school. Kids walk around naked. It's a free, it's a completely free artistic school. I showed up there when I was like 17 to visit my buddy Nils, and he's like in a pool with everybody and they're just naked. And I'm like, what is this place? And it's a bunch of strange artsy people just making art and being weird as fuck.
Oh, man, I wish I could get there. I don't think I have the, I'm too uptight with certain things,
Yeah.
I don't know, I mean, especially naked. I've never been. I feel like the guy that was always a streaker always had a huge cock. Mm-hmm. It was
or
always
like a really
wow.
weirdly small cock.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It was never a normal.
It was never
man.
just a straight up medium, good looking cock.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm somewhere around there. 112. Of cock.
Yep. 112 of cock. Absolutely.
Smooth.
I did it. I went to like a naked sauna in Austria with my buddy, and you're like, all right.
Comparing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Sauna's nice. The heat. That heat will help the cock.
Just us and a bunch of older German gentlemen, Austrian gentlemen.
Oh, you did a little backpacking?
No, I was just there visiting my buddy
Get
Terrence.
to see his penis and got out of Germany or Austria. So how long were you in Europe?
I just did that with him. That was last summer for, did that. And I went to London. Then I went to Ireland for a wedding. All told, it was like 2 weeks of traveling around. And then I got to go back in a couple weeks because he's getting married to the Austrian woman that he fell in love with. So we're going back. We're running it back.
So he moved out there? And then
Moved out there. He's a comic. He's a comic from...
Wow.
Grew up in upstate New York, came up in Chicago, and then moved to New York City and met this woman in his apartment complex. And they fell in love. And she had to move back to Austria. She is the next in line to take over an Austrian, cookware company.
Okay.
Called Reese. And,
that's big, isn't it?
I think so.
I don't know.
I think
You
it
could
is.
say
It
anything,
is.
but
It's
Reese,
big. It's big, and yeah. So he's over there doing that.
So is he working for her now, or is he still?
No, he's doing stand up. He's touring around doing expat stuff, and then I think he's teaching as well because he was training to be a teacher. So he's getting to do both things he loves.
It's kind of a dream,
right?
Because then it's like all the like pressure of having to be famous and get out there, and whatever. He's like just doing it for the love of the game. If
love of the game.
Wife is, but would you be able to marry a woman that's way more successful than you?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think I'm bringing other stuff to the table.
Yeah.
And I'm doing okay. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you weren't doing okay, I think there's,
yeah.
You know?
If you're making your own and you're supporting yourself and still buying things, that's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think there's probably at some point, you just can't be completely like a piece of shit on the couch.
No, you can't be 100% dependent on your rich wife. You got to be making some moves.
Yeah, you do have to make some moves. You're making some moves. You got this date tonight, big date. I mean, so you buy dinner on a first date?
I think so. I mean, yeah. I think we're just gonna have drinks. I'll buy the drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, buy the stuff.
Of course.
It's so nice. It's nice buying stuff for folks. If you can afford it, it's just like, yeah, why not?
It is awesome. And you're on what episode? What season of your show now?
We're gonna start shooting season 4 in August, late August. So that'll be, oh shit.
Yeah, get it out, brother.
I'm so sorry. That'll
Why
be nice.
Why are you apologizing? I don't mind a yawn.
Okay, I appreciate that.
I don't think you're tired. I think you're
just relaxing.
Yeah.
It's a sign of that I'm relaxed. I'm at my ease.
People get offended by a yawn. Can you imagine if I got really pissed?
It's like, hey, man.
Hey, dude, fucking this is my life.
Into the mic? Jesus Christ.
It's my life work. I mean, you have to throw your leg out like this.
Curling my toes.
What size shoe you got?
Some air. What size shoe I got? It's this 9.5.
Same, brother.
Yeah, brother. Sweet little 9.5.
You're doing jiu-jitsu today? That's why you're tired? That's why you're
today.
yawning?
Yeah, I got up early to do my jiu-jitsu, trying to get back on my schedule now that I'm home. I was gone for a couple weeks, and now I'm trying to get back on my good habits.
Yeah, that grind.
The grind, get my body right, get my stand-up right.
Yeah, if it's off.
Writing
you're a
right.
Loser. You're a loser if it doesn't work out.
That's right.
Yeah, if you don't get that purple belt. What are you on, blue belt?
Blue belt. But the purple belt, that's nice. That lets people know you're serious.
Yeah.
Blue belt, any Tom, Dick, and Jane could get a blue belt.
Yeah.
We're all about purple here.
I had an orange belt in judo.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Judo's a good one. But judo seems very useful.
Yeah, but I got it in a way that was very... so I got the yellow belt, and I didn't take... you got to go through different moves to get the orange belt. But I just threw 2 kids in a tournament so hard that he just gave me the orange belt.
Wow. You just threw 2 kids so hard?
Yeah, Ponce Nagi, it was called.
Hey.
Where you had just a fucking hip toss.
Beautiful hip toss. That's what everybody associates with judo. That's the move.
It's funny with judo, and that's kind of like when it's done, and you just hold them down. Jiu-jitsu, it's like that's just the start of the...
Totally. But I feel like, I don't know, if you're in the streets, you throw a guy and you're on top of him, you win.
But then when I went for the green belt, I didn't know any of the orange belt. I had nothing. Yeah, no, it wasn't as an adult. That was a young boy.
Yeah. You think it still lives in you, that knowledge? I think the stuff you learn when you're young,
I think I could.
Lives in your body.
If you weren't a master in jiu-jitsu, I think I could hold you down.
I'm not a master in jiu-jitsu, and I'm sure you could hold me down.
I don't know. I'm pretty strong.
I see that.
Yeah.
I don't want you to.
Should I try to hold you down?
I believe you could.
Come on, let's get.
Do you want to?
Nah,
we could try.
All right, let's see what happens.
All right. Is the camera okay? So how do we
do this?
Where do you want me?
All right, let's see here. Maybe right there, maybe.
Okay.
Let's see here. Oh no, you're out of camera.
Am I out of camera?
You know what? This is a terrible idea.
Okay.
It would have been fun though. It might have been viral.
Yeah.
God damn it.
A viral clip.
That was huge though. We almost did it.
Just let the record show I was game.
That was pretty badass that you were game.
There's a gameness. Sometimes it's all you got to be. You don't even have to be good. If you're just down, people will respect it.
Isn't it true?
Even if you get your ass kicked.
It's so true.
Yeah.
You just got to show up and be willing to get your ass
like,
whooped.
all right. Everybody goes, all right. What a guy.
Did you ever get in a fight?
Not really. I've had like small altercations, but never. No, I've never been in a full-on fist fight. maybe with my brother a little bit, or like a quick thing at a bar that ended pretty fast and didn't matter. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing serious.
I know. Yeah. I mean, it's so weird if you got in a fight at this age.
I know. 27.
crazy.
It's such a
27-year-old boys, just a couple of young boys.
It's a couple young boys. No, I'm 34, and actually, the more I sit here, the more I feel 34. Where I'm just like, I don't want to keep going on these first dates. I'm tired.
No, you're ready for a family.
I want a family.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, or is that the truth or what?
I could feel it. I feel like you're a settled down man.
I'm ready. I'm ready to light my life up with a wife and children.
It's beautiful.
Right?
I mean, what are you going to keep chasing?
I mean, it's certain
like random strange.
At a certain point, I think you do it, especially when you're a fat kid. And once you get to a point where you want to prove that you can do it for a little bit, and then at a certain point, you're just like, all right, we got enough of this.
I mean, do you think you got into stand-up to get women? I mean, a lot of guys admit that.
I think I got into stand-up because I knew it's something I could be good at, and I know if you can be really good at something, it attracts women. If you can be successful in any field, it's an attractive thing.
So wait, you went from a 4'11" little boy to a fat kid? Like, was there any time in between that you had?
No, I actually was like a thin short kid. And then I turned fat and really short. And then I started to grow at the end of high school, and through college, I worked on getting in shape.
Yeah.
And then, been through huskier periods, heavy drinking husky periods, especially when I moved back to Atlanta, eating a lot of like Checkers.
I crushed Checkers.
Dude, I was crushing
bacon cheeseburger
so cheap.
with those spicy fries.
We're going to this place in East Atlanta Village called Burger Win that had the best wings.
Go to Houston's.
Just crushing Miller High Lifes and fucking whiskey shots and being like, why am I so fat?
Dude, the idea of that is so fucking cool until you're like so sad.
I know.
The other side of like, I just eat Checkers, drink fucking some bourbon, fucking sit. And then on Sunday, you just are alone in the dark, just crying with fucking food on your shirt, and wondering what you did the night before.
All your roommates around you.
Yeah, everyone hates you, but you're like, nah, it's them, not me.
No, they don't get it.
Yeah, dude, they don't get
know
me,
what
dude.
Fun is.
They don't know fucking... Yeah, then now you said before we got on, you said you don't. Well, you drink every once in a while.
No, I go back and forth between drinking and not drinking.
Yeah.
So,
was there a moment like what made you just wanted to be more productive?
I just see it's I start to get really unhealthy. I'll drink too much, and then I'll just start to feel really bad, like we're talking about now. And then I'm like, all right, this is time to stop again. And then you just stop for a while. And then you start it up and it's good until it's not. And then you go, okay, time to stop again.
It is interesting. It's like when you're off for 2 months, what brings you back?
I went on vacation with my mom.
And you just had a couple glasses of wine with her, or did you?
Yeah, but it always, I still think I drink more than a regular person. So it's like, a bit more.
Yeah.
But I'm with my mom, so I'm not like being insane.
Yeah.
We're having a good time.
Yeah, it's a good caveat to get. Like, I'm with my mom. I'm
with my mom.
I had 9 shots.
And so I think I cut it off again, and then, I'll go to this wedding, and that's a good time to start again. And then you come back and you knock it off for a while.
It's always is an event that gets me back.
Yeah. Weddings are always a pretty good excuse to jump back in.
And it's like one of those things where it's like, you can't handle it because you get anxious at a wedding. I'm like, at this point, I don't really get anxious at those things anymore. Like, it's just a choice at this point. In the past, I would get fucked up because I was more introverted at a party.
Totally.
So I would get drunk enough to then become, fun and be the life of the party.
Absolutely.
But now it's like I don't even chase that anymore. And I think because we do stand up and we get to be the clown and the center of attention so much, we don't need it in our daily life.
No, totally. I'm very content to just like play the background in daily life and judge people and be like, that wasn't funny.
Yeah, that wasn't funny.
That wasn't fucking funny.
I don't like that person though. Like I don't like when I become that person either though, because then I'm like not in the moment, or I'm thinking this is below.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever I am,
Yeah, totally.
I don't know, man. It's kind of,
But it is good. I feel the same way, where it's just like, it's not much of an anxious thing anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not drinking to like assuage that. Although sometimes it will be, if I'm on the road, I'm like headlining a new club and it's that first show and I'm like, I'm really scared. And then you'll have one glass of wine and be like, wow, I'm less scared. Definitively less scared now.
So much less scared. 2 drinks is the perfect number.
Totally.
You know, the problem with that though is it leads to 8 drinks, and then the rest of the weekend you're fucking an anxious mess, and then you're like, well, I'm not going to drink because I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
But then you're fighting that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is you're doing the math in your head. You're like, well, I could stop now, and I show myself I have control.
Yeah. Oh, well, I had 8 last night, so I'll do 4 tonight, and then by Tuesday I'll only have 3. And I don't have a problem. You have a problem,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
Fucking,
totally.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny, dude. Drinking. I mean, being from where we're from, I think the South, I think drinking culture, especially, I mean, I'm a little bit older than you, but it's just a way of life.
Totally. It's way heavier. Same in the Midwest. I went to the Midwest for my sister's wedding in Wisconsin. I was like, oh, y'all boys, wow, okay.
They get after it.
They get after it too, yeah, 100%. So
it's kind of weird. You kind of just accept. I had this moment when I was like 30 or whatever. It's like, I'm 30. I'm just, I'm just going to just let myself go. I'm not, there's no getting back, that's, I don't know. There's just something about just not giving up, but just like, I shouldn't have a jack body. I'm just a man who just, wears a collared shirt, and I'm just
a man.
I'm just a man. I don't know. And then I feel like that's changed a lot. I think people just, I don't know what it is like if you stay in your home, not staying in your hometown. I hate like using that terminology, but like you kind of just go, you just accept the role that you've seen being played before.
Yeah, totally.
And I guess there is a level of comfort in that.
Yeah. You're a nice person. You don't want to look down on people.
No, I don't.
You don't.
No, I don't.
You don't, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Just, the idea of the person that stays in their hometown and then, doesn't. And now I think when you live in New York, it is so, everything feels very, or even LA, it feels very like Andrew Huberman, like optimize. Yes. Who cares if you're 30? Your testosterone doesn't drop off until you're in your 50s. Optimize. I'm 45 and I'm the best shape I've ever been in my life.
Yes, the other end of that is a very annoying. I hate that guy more than the other guy I was just talking about. But
I would like to quietly be that guy. Well,
for sure.
But
I've listened to David Goggins' book.
Oh, yeah.
I passed out on a couch eating ice cream listening to Goggins.
Bugs the shit out of me.
Yeah, dude.
It's just telling people to slowly destroy their bodies with exercise. You have to rest at some point. Also, I do have a cousin. So I have one. He just hit me up to go fishing with him tomorrow. I can't make it, but he was a recon Marine, and his little brother's a Navy SEAL. These are my 2 cousins. God. And I was talking to him, the Marine, about like Goggins and Jocko Willink, and he's like, those guys are hardos. He's like, even if they weren't SEALs, they would be those guys.
Yeah.
He's like, there's plenty of Navy SEALs that just like crush beers and don't give a fuck. They won't run 2 miles because they already went through the train. They will run 2 miles because they're tough and they can do it, but they're not in like shape all the time.
They don't have to prove it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know how to turn it on in a battle situation. It's part of what makes them SEALs. They have like their minds are very tough, but they're not like spending their days rucking 100 miles to be like, gotta get after it today.
It is it is interesting when someone doesn't feel the need to brag, even though they are insanely good at what they do.
Yeah.
And they just let that, and you would never expect it. Like the kid that became a Navy SEAL that I knew, he was just a good swimmer in my high school.
Really?
And he was quiet.
Yeah.
Now he's probably murdered 45.
Who knows?
Who knows though? Maybe he didn't.
Maybe
I shouldn't have said that.
Maybe he killed one very important person.
It is funny though to think about this guy murdering people.
Absolutely.
Freaking these Navy SEAL guys, I feel like they are they get like Jocko and Goggins, a lot of these people that go, I was on SEAL Team 6 and I shot bin Laden, and then he gets called out for for lying and shit, because there's a lot of money to be made off this shit.
There was that other guy, I forget his name, but basically he wrote this book and said he did all this shit, and his whole unit came out and was like, these are lies. This man is a liar.
Yeah.
He's a psycho.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy.
No, you would think the people that actually care about the service and stuff shut their fucking mouth.
I would say, my cousin doesn't tell me what he does. My cousin Zach didn't really say all the shit he did. I remember when we picked him up at the airport to take him to jump training, he wasn't in like military uniform. There were all these guys, you know, getting off the plane all in military uniform, and he just got like a gray sweater and a baseball cap. He looks like fucking Leo DiCaprio in The Departed or some shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, why aren't you in your fatigues? He's like, these guys are freaking homos. He's like, they're all in the army. They're all pussies. They're all walking in with their fatigues to get some attention. He's like, let's get the fuck out of here. And I was like, all right.
Fucking A. That is awesome. God, I wish I could be that guy.
We can be in our own small ways.
Yeah, very tiny ways.
Very in our own small, non-braggadocious, strong
I do
ways.
feel like, let's say, you know, we're both stand-ups. I think there's a lot of stand-ups that, like, that's their whole identity.
Yeah.
To the point where it comes off as, like, a Jocko Willink. And they could be good at stand-up, but it's like everything is that.
Well, it's like
and I just find it so annoying.
Listening to Jerry Seinfeld talk about stand-up, like, blah, 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 blah. And to be fair, I still use his rule where I'm like, if I'm going to write, I'll just do like 25 minutes as a minimum. But he was that guy giving all that advice. Meanwhile, you're like, what? You're like, when are you going to, where's the new jokes? And he's like, it took me a long time to write these jokes.
Yeah.
You think you could write this? I didn't think so either. It's going to take me a while.
Every morning I wake up, 3 hours, I write in my Hamptons 800,000 square foot house.
New York City's dead.
New York City's dead. College is dead. They can't handle me.
I wrote a Pop-Tart movie.
Yeah, man, I can't handle that. Like, I was like that with sports though too. Like, I never made it my whole personality.
Yeah,
you know, I've never clinged on to an identity. I feel like then it kind of pigeonholes you a little bit as a human.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I guess people. Yeah, I guess there's. Then people will maybe try to see you that you're a fraud or that you don't care as much.
Mm-hmm.
I do find that. I do get in trouble, I think, a lot in life of, like, people don't think I care because I'm so late. Like,
yeah. Because you're so laid back, people think you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, or that I'm completely chill.
Would you say that you do care and you're just trying to not act like it's that big a deal?
Yeah.
Right? I think that's a good way to go about it.
Yeah. I do think that. I think a lot of times people don't take me serious because I don't take myself serious for a long time until stand up, and then I think I did finally choose something.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Oh, I mean, like when I went to college, I just did the common application. I never thought about where I'd be in 5 years. I still don't really do that.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. Do you write down goals?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Like during the pandemic, I was big into doing anything. I was big into like, I would listen to some Jocko. I listen to some Tim Ferriss. I make fun of Jerry Seinfeld, but I listen to all his interviews where it was like, this is what you do. And write out, Tim Ferriss had a thing where it was like, write out your perfect day 10 years from now. Where do you want to be? What do you want to have? What's happening in that day? And I was like, my balls
being really low.
My balls are low as hell.
That's it. Yeah, no, I think fighting that, which I've done for a long time, like, no, I don't write shit down. That almost takes more energy than just doing the thing.
I think it can be good to write stuff down. Part of the fear with writing stuff down, obviously, is that you're scared you won't accomplish it, and then you'll feel like a failure and all that stuff.
Feel that, brother.
Yeah. My mom calls me out for that. She goes, I think you're scared of failure. You're scared to commit. And I go, shut up. Shush.
Dude, you don't know how fucking hard it is to fucking do stand-up, Mom. My
mom told me that I needed to up my social media presence, and I got mad at her. I got mad at her like a stereotypical white son in a joke by an ethnic comedian being like, yeah. And then he called his mom a bitch. I was like, how dare you?
Also, you do put out a lot. Maybe you put out more. And
this was after she talked to me, and I got mad at her. I was like, "You're my mom. I just want to feel like you're proud of me." And she was like, "I am proud of you." And then I was like, "Okay." She was like, "I just have my own business, and I thought we were speaking on a business level." And then I calmed down, and the next day I was like, "I'm really sorry, and also thank you." And then I started working on it. I said all that to say, my mom is actually a very intelligent, kind, and supportive person.
But also, Mom, you've never posted a stand-up video knowing that it's not as good as you can be and that it's not going to really work out, but yet you do it anyways because you feel like you have to feed this algorithm that will never be fully fed. And then it doesn't do well, and then it just, It's so funny. It's the stuff, I think this probably won't do well, it doesn't do well. And then stuff where I'm like, I really like this, tends to do okay. Yeah. And if it doesn't do okay, I'm like, well, that's fine. I like it, I mean, when you post something knowing it won't do, you're just leading yourself to your own hell, but you feel like you have to do it because your mom told
Yeah, because your mom said you got to do it. Sometimes I wonder if I just do stand-up because my mom said I should.
Your mom said. I do think I started stand-up. I thought it was the easiest way to do something creative without having to work that, like I was going to go to copywriting. Like I was going to be an ad writer or whatever because I thought, oh, this is a profession in the creative world. But then I'd have to go to copywriting school. But stand-up, you're just there. Like for a lazy guy who has somewhat of ambition, there's no boundary. You could just go and do it.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about it.
There's no boundary. You can just go and do it.
Yeah.
You just have to wait in the back of an open mic and watch a lot of shit. But yeah.
Yeah, you came up in L.A. then? Or did you start in Atlanta?
No, I started in Atlanta kind of when I was a kid. My mom got me to do it when I was a kid. And then I went to Los Angeles to go to school for college, and I really started doing it on my own out there. And then after 3 years there, I graduated college. It was a bad place to start, and I just moved back to Atlanta, and I really cut my teeth there. And then I moved up here.
Nice, dude. And then how did you get animal control?
Man, I just got a lucky sequence of events. There was one summer I decided to like really stay in New York and get super sharp and try to get that JFL New Faces.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I can get it. I guess that's an example of like, I set the goal. I was like, I think I can do this if I work hard. And then I did. I got it with my roommate Ethan, which was awesome because we got to do it together, which I think took a lot of the pressure off. And that went well. And then I got to do the Tonight Show, and I got some agents off of that. And I had already auditioned for stuff with Fox. I had sort of a working relationship with the casting lady there because before the pandemic, she had run a comedy festival.
Yeah.
Because she was trying to be proactive about her job. She was trying to get to know the comedic talent. And we had gotten to know each other there, and I told her I wanted to act, and I started auditioning for her. So then it was like this perfect storm of they already knew me. I had like agents behind me, and then there was a role that I was like really right for. And I auditioned, and I went through like 3 rounds of auditions. And the whole time I was super chill. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't smoking. I was like doing salsa classes to clear my head. I was like dude, I was like so dialed in. And I was to the point where I was like, even if I don't get this, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, It's like all the stuff you want is happening.
It's all lining up.
And then I did the chemistry read with Joel, and I think it went well. I think I was good at improvising, maybe better than some of the other guys. I don't know. But then I got the role off that.
I mean, Jocko would love that story.
Jocko would love that story.
Jocko would be
all the shit I talked today, I was probably listening to him while I like ran around the park.
I mean, it is interesting though. It's like, so many things had to line up for that moment.
Yeah.
And you were an actor. You could have just auditioned in LA, never done stand up.
Yeah.
Probably never would have got. You had to like go back to Atlanta, then come to New York,
Dude,
then to then just get back to where you kind of started, which is interesting. And which made you audition better and make you not depend on it because you had another thing to fall back on.
Yeah, I had stand-up, and I'd already been disappointed by stuff, so I'm like, well, you can't get too emotionally invested. Just assume you're not going to get it, but try your hardest.
Yeah, man.
And you know what? I did set the goals before that happened.
Did you?
I was telling people, I was like, I'd like to be on a TV show. I had set the goals, and
Should
it happened.
I say it right now? I don't know. I'm a little. Well, I would
say write it down for yourself. I don't think you need to state it for us here because that puts a weird pressure on you.
Yeah.
And also, if you say it out loud, it can discharge some of the tension. Like, keep it for yourself.
All right.
It sounds like you already have it.
I don't know but that's the thing. I don't know what I've never known what my goal is, like my ultimate goal is.
But there's also like a beauty in it.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm at right now. I'm just like, I'm enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
Rick Rubin would say you don't need. Well, I guess
it's the process, right?
You can have smaller goals.
Yeah.
The goal can just be to write another great joke. That's a goal.
That is a goal.
You put all your focus into one thing at a time.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like I had a nice new joke last night. It was interesting. I'll tell you this story. Yesterday, in New York, you could have, let's say you got that role, and within 3 hours, something can happen on a subway or whatever and completely ruin your happiness.
Totally.
You know, like that's the thing about New York. I love New York, but something, you know, you could have the best day of your life and it could change within a second. And yesterday I was walking. We rescued this dog. You know, no big deal. Saved the puppy. You know, it's all good. And we rescued. I'm walking the dog with my wife, and a woman gets hit by a cab.
Holy shit!
But not hard, like just hard enough where it wasn't like she just fell on her ass. Like my wife ran over and she goes, "Did you hit your head?" She goes, "Nah, I just hit my ass." And she was very New York. She was like 55. And she falls on her ass, and she says, "I just hit my ass." And my wife grabs her by the armpits, and then 2 other gentlemen grab her arms.
Yeah.
I have the dog. I'm walking the puppy, so I can't
do anything.
Also, it's handled. Like
It's done.
You didn't roll over the cab either. It's not like But she's on her ass. And she just looks into my eyes directly, and she goes, "You're just gonna watch."
That's hilarious.
But it comes back.
That's so
then she
funny.
goes, "I hate when men just watch." And then she's talking to my wife, going, "Can you believe this man just watched?" And my wife is like, "Well, that's my husband, ma'am, and he can't let the dog go." So then,
your wife had your back. That's good.
She had my back, and then she fucking gets in the cab that hits her. And then she rolls down the window and looks at me and goes, "You just watched." I swear to God, my wife, if she comes back,
dude, that's so funny.
It was a curse.
She directed all the anger on you. Not even the taxi driver was free and clear. Taxi drivers gave her a ride, maybe at a discount.
That's literally that's how I ended the joke. I got a cab driver. It's like, can you believe that guy? Just watching.
What an asshole.
And it worked so perfect on stage. I didn't write it. I just go, I'm just going to tell it.
Dude,
you know?
That's great.
Because,
You just watched.
You just watched.
Yeah, like
You're
a
just
curse.
going to watch. Yeah, it felt like a curse. It felt like an M. Night Shyamalan or whatever.
It felt like an M. Night Shyamalan or whatever. She M. Night Shyamalan me or some
she's
shit?
Shyamalan me.
She Shyamalan
She
me.
Timothy Chalamet, M. Night me.
Damn.
Dude, it was fucking...
That's hilarious.
And I was just like, all right, well, that's my 4 p.m. Like, that's like...
You're just going to watch.
I saw another old lady fall today in the fucking washer
What is
dryer.
happening
I don't
around
know.
here?
But I made sure to... I
you
was
helped
walking
her?
the puppy again. I fucking helped her up, though. Like, I faked it, but like I helped...
Yeah.
I
You go,
touched her arm.
Where's this puppy at?
My wife just took it away.
Oh. Are you going to have a puppy now?
I don't know. We're fostering it.
What kind of puppy?
Puerto Rican. He really is, though. I don't know, like, what kind of breed.
Yeah.
I think he's like... He might be a little Doberman and then like a little like terrier or something.
That's an interesting mix.
He's a cool dog. It's tough. Like fostering, he pisses everywhere. I don't know if you could tell. It smells in here like piss.
I did not smell the piss.
But it's funny to foster to adopt. You got to wait. Like we were almost like within minutes being like, "Nah, we're good."
Yeah.
You know, but you can't just call the foster company and be like, "Hey man, no, we're
actually gonna keep." Why not?
No, keep it.
We're actually gonna.
You got to wait at least a little bit so they think that you tried.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So we have till Saturday to make the decision. It's a big decision, man.
It is.
A puppy.
I mean, it's
too.
a dog that's gonna be years.
Years.
Within
we probably want a kid, so it's like
one or the other. I was reading a book on the way over here. It's a short story, and it's a short story about this couple that buys an English bulldog and the husband becomes obsessed with it, and then the wife gets pregnant and the guy neglects the dog because he's taking care of his wife, and then the baby's born and then the dog tries to attack the baby, and anyway, just wanted to put that in your head.
I guess we're just gonna foster.
Yeah
I guess the story is actually kill the baby might be a good thing. You know, you never know.
Could be character building.
Could
then
be.
Maybe you'll finally write some goals.
So did the dog kill the baby, or did you?
No, the dog did not kill the baby.
It happens all the time. Dog always gets, dog is. I know
jealous?
so many. Well, no, not attack the baby, but they get forgotten about.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah. And they take it personal.
Who, the dog or the? Yeah, I think so.
I mean, the way they're describing this dog in the book, it's like, oh yeah, this dog's got feelings for real. It's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you ever have a dog?
Never had a dog. Never had a cat. Had hermit crabs. Weirdo.
Okay.
Had a rat. What a mistake.
Okay.
It's because I couldn't get a dog because I was allergic to them, and I convinced my parents, what about a rat? Because my friend had a rat, and she was awesome. She was so cool.
Time out, you skipped hamster and you went to rat?
Yeah. Sister had a hamster. I just wanted something substantial.
So you wanted something more boy-like?
Just something substantial.
What about like a gerbil?
Well,
or like
this is the thing. I was told that rats were smart. You could train rats.
Okay.
They're more like dogs. And I was just trying to get as close to a dog as I could.
So where do you find a rat?
Petco.
Online?
And
Petco had rats?
Yes. And this rat, for lack of a better term, he sucked. He was antisocial. He bit my sister first the day.
I don't know why you were going to say.
He was anti-woman, I'll tell you that.
He bit your sister?
Bit my sister first day, and then wouldn't let me pick him up. I'd have to wear gloves, and he would attack my hands.
Yeah.
And it was
a
like,
rat.
But see, my buddy had a rat, and it was like, you could put it on your shoulder, and she was so sweet, and she loved playing with us. And I found out later from one of the animal handlers I was working with, he was like, oh yeah, boys are bad. You want to get girls, and you want to get two of them because they're social. They want people to play with. And he was like, and you should get Dumbo rats. So he's like, next time, get 2 Dumbo rats, get 2 females, and they'll be the best rats you ever had.
So you didn't do that?
No. I mean, I'm an adult.
Well,
what am
now
I
you have
have,
some money.
rats?
I mean, now I think...
What, now I invest in rats? I
don't
like
know,
my freedom.
Yeah, I know.
Can't commit to these freaking Dumbo rats.
So wait, what happened to this rat? So it sounds like the
That
story...
rat I kept alive. I fed him. I took care of him. And then he died one day. And it was a complicated mix of emotions to
How old
witness
was he when he
death
died?
and just feel like relief. I was like, thank God, man.
How old was he?
Don't even know.
Yeah.
Don't even know. He
You
probably
didn't just let him go?
To be fair, I should have. Now you say that, you're
you
right,
imagine?
man. He led probably like a life he didn't enjoy. Poor guy. I should have let him go.
Where do you keep him in? Just a cage? Would he run around the house?
Kept him in a cage. I tried to put him in a ball so he could run around. He hated that. I had like a fenced-in area he could run around. He hated that. He would try to shit on me every time I picked him up. He was just like
An animal like
antisocial.
that, the fur too is not like my friend had a rabbit. You pet it, it feels very like
clean.
No,
Dirty.
opposite. Like an animal. Like it feels like tough.
Yes.
Like the fur's tough.
Yeah, he was a tough rat. Huge balls.
Oh, you were jealous of that.
I bet, yeah.
That's,
long
now
tail.
It makes sense.
Huge balls, big long
he's probably
tail.
a nice guy. Now that I hear back here.
No.
Yeah, it sounds like you were just jealous of the big balls.
Well, yeah, he was the big alpha. He
didn't need an asthma fucking inhaler.
He bit anybody that touched him. He was really tough.
I mean, look.
I wasted a good name on him, Otis. Now I can't call anything else Otis. I thought it was a great name.
I don't know if that's the rule.
Yeah. Is it
Maybe
not?
you need a second chance.
Maybe
Who's calling you out? That's just yourself talking.
I know, but I mean, isn't that our biggest critic?
What would Jocko say? Jocko would say name fucking
You
whatever.
name a. What do you think, Echo? Can you name a pet the same name as another pet?
I don't know.
That was my impression of him on his podcast. He has a guy on there named Echo Charles. I've actually consumed quite a bit of.
On that note, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me on.
Go check out Micheal Rowland on Instagram. So fucking funny. Really is. His mom's proud. He puts out a lot of stuff.
I'm putting out at least 1 clip a week for Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks
for doing this, dude.
Thank you for having me, Andrew.
All right, man.
Puddles, puddles. Everybody now puddles. Everybody get up because you get down and then everyone will come over here.